Hey everybody, it's Kathy. Welcome to Wool Maven. We're outside today in the yard doing some work on one of our fleeces. So I'll show you what it looks like and what I do about what it looks like. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. We don't coat the sheep, but it's super nice to spin with what we have. So let me show you what I got. Okay, there's a good look at what's going on with the fleece. You can tell right there's a burr. There's some vegetable matter, like there's some straw-ish stuff right here. Got my handy dandy versatile scissors there, and then just a bag to put stuff in. So I'll set you up on the tripod and I'll show you what we got. So I grab it and just pull it apart. There's a little bit of a burr piece in there, move that over if you can see it. And that's why we're outside. I can drop this stuff, but I need it pulled apart. No, stick that in my bucket. Pull it apart so that the drum carter can get it. Like if I put that into the drum carter, those kind of, I hate to call them crunchy, but they're compacted tips. They just don't do anything. But if I kind of rip it apart and shred it up more, so it's more like that, and put that in my bucket, that'll work great. So here's another piece. Not sure what you can see of the vegetable matter in there. There's a couple bits of hay that gets pulled out. Just anything I don't like. And as I spin, that's pretty good. And as I spin, I'll go through more. I've been spinning this more of a woolen style. There's a little bit of a burr there. I've been spinning this more of a woolen style, and that tends to, as you spin, it actually kind of like spins up the fiber, obviously, and then sort of kicks the debris to the edge, so you can just stop as you're spinning and pick it off. And then that little bit. This right here is more of a, not sure how much you can see. I'll toss that off. That was more of like a tip that didn't come apart. But if I just get this apart, just like this, then it goes through and gets on the drum carter a ton easier. Now that piece, that looks pretty good as is. It obviously can't go on the drum carter like that, but it won't take much. Because see, look how it fluffed. Get that bit there. And something like that, if I put that on the drum carter, it'll just end up as kind of a chunk on the drum after getting grabby, which means that I put too much in there. So I like to do it more like a fluff. And just, actually I kind of cherry picked out of the bag there. This is looking pretty good. And I did lightly wash the fleece, not super squeaky clean. So I use soap when I do the yarn. Then I do want to say, I'm not sure what that was. Here's something of a burr. See the burr right there? Not a super great example, but we'll go with it. Oh, this is a better one. Oops. Not true, that's too short. See that? The burr there on that mess? I would probably just leave that. That's why we're outside. And this, there's a burr in there, and see the little like more squiggly bits? Those are always harder to get apart. So this is debatable. You can see it in there, whether I want to go to the effort of that or not. But let's say I did. So I pull it apart the best I can. Then get to where you can see the burr in there, and then just snip. And then pull apart the last couple bits of, and it's mostly burdock. Burdock's a big deal. Then that's a ton better there. And then I've got the rest of the burr right there. So snip that off. And that's a ton shorter. That's a ton shorter, but it opens up so nice. And I'm putting it on the drum carder, like I said, and probably going to spin woolen. So if I was spinning worsted, this short stuff here would be way, way, way too short, at least for me. At least for me. But short like that, no worries with woolen. Anyway, I just keep going through the fleece. This is a good activity for outside. That's why we're out here, because anything I drop, I don't have to really worry about it. See, now there's a second cut, and I just toss it aside. No big deal. Just opening it up. Anything I don't like gets, I don't really like any of that. Anything I don't like gets the heave ho. Anything I feel like keeping goes in my bag. And there's a little yellow jacket friend there. Now you can see the piece I just put in was more fluffed out initially, but this one is more crimpy, so it takes some individual attention, because if I put it on the drum carder like this, guess I'll give you a better view. That whole thing, just like that, will end up in the bat. So, so I can either separate it now or separate it later. And I tend to put it through, it definitely needs it once. I could use hand cards, but honestly, I just prefer the drum cards. Twice gives it that little bit of extra that's really nice, and gets out gives me a second shot to get anything like this that I would have missed. So I generally put it through twice. And it's just a nice, easy to work with. Well, like I said, if you're not familiar, it's mostly Dorset cross, and they're just commercial use. So that's the reason they're not coated, and that's the reason it's just what I've got. So it's what I use. You can see some of that falling out. Yeah, any section of fleeces that you get that look like this initially generally come apart pretty well. You're just working on the tip and spreading it out more so it doesn't gum up your drum carder. And then I just washed this. This is what I'm spinning this type of wool up into. It's a 2-ply, and this is wet. That section's really wet, but I'm not sure how well it'll show up on there. So that's the master plan for this. I just like to play with it, mess around a little. It's nice to sit outside. Oh, here's a better example of a burr. Yeah. That's more of that work that I'm willing to put in. Which I don't know if you've listened to. If you listen to any of my podcasts, which I did just put up on the channel. But one of them talks about raising your... Oh, that was all too low. Raising your own sheep for fiber. And that's one of the things I mentioned is that... See, those are short. One of the things I mentioned is that it's so nice when you have your own fleece that here I've got, I guess I don't know how much is in here, but oh, surely 5 or 6 pounds that I can do kind of whatever I want to. I can skirt it really heavy. I don't have to be paranoid because I've got plenty more on this fleece and more fleeces. Plus we still have some shearing yet to do. So anyway, this is what I do when the grandkids are over and playing outside. This is a good kid activity because you can just drop it if you need to go. Monitor the kid situation. There we go. That's good enough to go on the drum carter. And there's a more typical second cut, just a little bitty. You can see that guy, another one that I need to get out. And I just slowly work my way through. And sit back. Here's a little second cut. Good amount of second cuts there. Oh, and the funny thing is, and not this year or this time of year because it is September now, but in the spring you might feel bad about heave-hoeing your little bits of wool. Don't feel bad. I see them in bird nests all the time. Okay, I don't really want any of that. Okay, pull that off. And that's the scoop. And I've done this multiple times so far. I've probably made 5 or 6 bats off of this fleece already, and I've still got plenty left. You saw what was all on the dog crate there. I was going to say the table. My fake table. Just keep pulling it apart and keep chucking it in there. And I do have to say, if you are... Anyway, so this is just a... The purpose of this is just like a real time, hey, this is at least how I prepare one of our fleeces. If you are a new spinner, I have, at least I'd hope would be great news for you. I have, there we go, we're cutting this one off. Awesome. Looks a ton better now. I have great news for you. I have put together a mini course and it'll get you, it's free. It's free. All you have to do is sign up for it with your email address and it will get you started pretty darn well on getting spinning. That's what that looks like. Getting spinning. If you are, and the course is designed to be for a dead beginner. So you have a spinning wheel and maybe you've made a couple attempts and they haven't gone super good for you, which I've been there. I've totally been there. My initial spinning was pretty scary. It was pretty scary. But with a little bit of help, gosh, you'd be shocked at how much better you can get. So anyway, if you're interested in a little mini course that will get you started spinning, I'll talk about the things you need, the things that you need to have on hand to get you started, and most of it will be, see, that one needs a little bit more. Most of it will be things that you already have. So no big deal. You'll need a little bit of fiber, but I would love to have you get the little mini course, see what it can do for you. So check that out. It's in the description below. And this is Kathy from Wool Maven. Thanks for spending your time with me and hope to have a good day.